The wind howled like a chorus of lost souls outside my small apartment, causing the windows to rattle and the wooden frame to creak. It was a cold winter evening, the kind that made you want to stay indoors with a hot cup of coffee and a good book. But I was stuck at home, trying to meet a deadline for my writing project. My phone, however, was buzzing with an unknown number. The screen flickered to life as I picked up the call, displaying a number that seemed to shift and blur like a fingerprint on a wet surface. It was as if the phone was trying to tell me something, but I couldn't quite decipher the message. I hesitated for a moment before answering, my heart racing with anticipation. The line went silent, and I was met with an unsettling stillness. The darkness outside seemed to press in around me, making the shadows on my walls twist and writhe like living things. I felt a chill run down my spine as I waited for someone to speak, but the only sound was the distant hum of the wind and the soft beeping of my phone. My mind began to wander, conjuring up images of a mysterious stranger on the other end of the line, waiting for me to make a move. The anticipation was suffocating. I tried to shake off the feeling, telling myself it was just a prank call or a wrong number. But the phone remained silent, refusing to yield any information about the caller's identity. My fingers began to tremble as I held the phone, my eyes fixed on the screen as if willing the number to change. The room seemed to grow colder, the air thickening with an unspoken menace. The seconds ticked by at a glacial pace, each one stretching into an eternity as I waited for some sign of life on the other end. My skin prickled with goosebumps as the silence deepened, making me wonder if I'd somehow conjured up a ghostly presence. I tried to take a deep breath, but my lungs felt constricted, as if the phone was sucking the air out of the room. I considered hanging up, but a morbid curiosity kept me rooted to the spot. Who was this mysterious caller, and what did they want from me? The questions swirled in my head like a maelstrom, each one begging to be answered. My fingers tightened around the phone, my knuckles white with tension. The line remained dead, refusing to yield any clues or answers. I was trapped in a holding pattern, unable to move or escape the suffocating silence. My eyes began to water as the strain mounted, my mind racing with worst-case scenarios. Was I being watched? Was someone playing a cruel game with me? Suddenly, the phone screen flickered to life again, displaying a single, cryptic message, "I'm still here." The words seemed to sear themselves into my brain, leaving a scar that would never heal. I felt a scream building in my throat, but it got stuck, frozen in terror. My vision began to blur as panic set in, my breathing growing shallow and ragged. I stumbled backward, dropping the phone as it rang again, the sound piercing my eardrums like a knife. I scrambled to get away from the phone, but my legs felt heavy, as if rooted to the spot. The ringing grew louder, a deafening crescendo that threatened to shatter my sanity. I covered my ears, but the sound seemed to seep into my very being, infecting me with an unspeakable horror. I felt myself being pulled into a vortex of madness, with no escape from the abyss. And then, everything went black. But when I came to, I was back on the phone, the caller's voice whispering in my ear, "You'll never be able to hang up."